Hi guys, it's time for another installment. This is going to be my second video doing this. I'm going to be doing a week in looks, what am I trying to say? A week of looks. These are like the 7 last looks that I have filmed, and we're starting with this one. So I'm going to basically in this video just show you everything that I'm wearing, give you kind of quick reviews as I've used these products, maybe once, maybe twice, let you know which videos these are from. I know not everybody watches all of my videos, which is totally fair, and especially since I feature a lot of new makeup that have dedicated videos to them, maybe all you have time for is to watch one video and get like a quick summary. So I hope maybe this can be it for you. I'm glad that some of you enjoyed my first video that I did. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep doing these, but I'm enjoying it so far, so we're just gonna jump straight in. I'm gonna start with telling you all of the base products that I'm using because they don't really change, but if you haven't watched my first one, you might not know what I like to use and what I don't like to use. Why would I tell you what I don't like to use? Because it's not what I'm wearing. Anyway, I'm gonna start by telling you what I'm wearing on my face. I don't do any primer, it's just not what I do. I moisturize and I go in with foundation, and this is the Very Valentino Sunscreen Broad Spectrum. I cannot speak today. I'm so sorry. I apologize in advance. This is going to be a rough video. Light Lasting Perfecting Foundation. This is what I've been wearing for the past probably 6 months. I love this foundation. It's a really nice medium coverage. I do have oily skin. This wears beautifully on me. I do always powder my face though. Just something to keep in mind. I don't know how this wears without powdering, but for me, this is a beautiful, beautiful foundation that I have no complaints about, and this is a repurchase for me, so I feel like that says a lot. My concealer is the same that I used in my previous video, even though I did kind of switch it up there, but I'm using the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Cover Concealer. Love this. This is totally a holy grail for me. I'm going to be repurchasing this when I run out of it. I think it is so, so good. It's, again, I wouldn't say, is it a full coverage? It's like a medium to full coverage, but it blends out so beautifully. It doesn't crease under my eyes. Again, I do set it with powder, but it just wears beautifully. I have no complaints. This is my perfect color. It's just a perfect concealer for me. I also have been using my Wet n Wild setting powder, which is my all-time favorite. Been using this for probably 3 years now. It's so affordable. You get so much product. It just sets my face really nicely, and that's all I ask for. I'm not picky when it comes to powders. I've heard some people say that that powder gives them flashback, which I don't care. I don't go to events. I don't take my pictures with flash. I just live life like a normal person, and for that reason, I don't give a shit about flashback. I am still playing around with the ColourPop bronzer, the Super Shock bronzers that they came out with. I've been loving this. I have mine in the shade I'll Bet, and this is a matte bronzer. It is one of those Super Shock formulas though, so it is kind of like a cream to matte, but I've been really enjoying it. You can't really let this get out of hand. Like, that's what's so nice about it. It's kind of subtle, but you still get like color on, but it's very buildable and easy to work with. So I've been loving this. For my blush today, I was originally going to use a Sigma blush because I'm using a Sigma palette on my eyes, which you will see when I get to it. But then I was like, hey, I have this palette from Mcgrath. I'm gonna use this instead. So this is the Divine Blush and Glow Trio. I bought mine in the dark shade, and I have this as my blush today. I love this palette. I think this is so gorgeous. Like, all of these colors actually work really well for me. I don't find them to be too dark or too pigmented, but then again, I do like pretty intense face products, so this might not be for you if you don't like something that's kind of pigmented and in your face, but for me, I love this. I think this is such a good purchase. I did go with a Sigma highlighter, and I'm using the shade Savannah. This is the only Sigma highlighter that I own, but I think it is beautiful. It's really, really nice, and I feel like it's the kind of highlighter that's going to go with everything. The color of it is very kind of neutral, but the formula is very blinding, very smooth. It just looks really nice on the skin. Now let's move on to eyes. Of course, I'm using my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. I don't really feel like I need to say that now, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And then I am using the Alice in Wonderland palette from Sigma. And I haven't done a video with this, but I am working on a 3-look video, which this will be one of the looks in that video. Don't know if that's up or not, but this is what is on my eyes today. I'm using this shade, and this shade, and I think that's it. I think I only used 3 shades, and then for my inner corner I used a little bit of my Blend Bunny Noctilucent palette as per usual, and I'm using the shade Enlighten, which is just a yellow iridescent shade. I just think it's so pretty. I can't get enough of that shade. That is just my favorite in the palette. I'm also wearing a little bit of liquid liner. I don't think I mentioned this in the other video that I did, but this has been my holy grail eyeliner for again, probably 3 years. This is the DHC Cosmetics Liquid Eyeliner Perfect Pro Makeup. I buy this on Amazon. It is so good. Like, it is so smooth. It doesn't bleed. It's so easy to apply. This is a brush tip eyeliner, which is my favorite. I can't stand felt tips. So when I first tried this, I fell in love, and I've tried so many eyeliners since, and they just don't stack up. Like, this to me is the best eyeliner of all time. If you're looking for a new liquid eyeliner, try this one. I promise you won't get disappointed because this is just amazing. I also have a little bit of my Bad Girl Bang on, but I am wearing lashes today, so I don't really go very heavy on the mascara. I basically just use the tiniest amount just to get my own lashes to be like a little bit blacker and to blend in the lashes better. And for my lashes, I'm wearing the Auric lashes, and I'm wearing the Style Glass Wing. I'm wearing the bottom ones, as if you could tell by me showing you the compact, but this comes with 2 different ones. So you have the half lashes here, and then we have the full lashes here. I don't know where my half lashes have gone. I really don't know. They disappeared. But I'm wearing the full lash today that I have trimmed a little bit. And I think Glass Wing is the most subtle pair that they sell. Could be wrong about that, but I've been really enjoying the lashes from Auric. I think that they are really, really nice. If you're somehow curious about my lash glue, I'm using the dual lash glue in the blue tube. I think that is my absolute favorite because it doesn't stick to my lashes when I rip my lashes off. Like, it sticks to my lashes, which well, the false lashes, not my lashes. Like, I get so annoyed when lash glue is like left on my eyes and I struggle to get that off. But if I can just rip off my fake lashes and have the glue stick to my fake lashes instead, that's so much easier to remove. And I find that with this lash glue, that is exactly what happens. I'll go through my brow products real quick too. I know that the first beginning of like these videos are going to be quite long because I tend to use the same products a lot of the time, but I still want to just go through like my full face with you in the beginning, and then we can talk about like the things that I've sort of switched out in the other looks, because these are all going to be products that I'm going to be using pretty much every day. So right now I'm using the brow pencil from Colourpop in the shade Dark Brown, and then for my kind of flick in my hair like strokes, I'm using the West Barnes & Co. the brow pen. I have mine in the shade Roots and the shade Brew. Then I kind of mix the two because Brew is a little bit lighter and Roots is a little bit darker. So we just kind of, I don't know, I kind of just alternate them depending on what I feel like. So for my lips, I think that is the only thing that is left. I'm using a Glam Light lip liner, and this is the Frosted Flakes one. I wanted a brown lip liner to go with this lipstick that I'm wearing, and the lipstick is from Ace Beauté. This is my favorite color that they came out with. It's such a beautiful kind of light brown nude for my skin tone, and I think it's a perfect depth for brown that you can still see it's brown, but it's not like too dark for me. Sometimes with like brown lipsticks, they can tend to err on being a little bit too dark, and if they're too light, they just look weird. So I really like the tone of this. I think it is really, really nice. So that is it for this look. I will check in with you when I do my next look. I don't know how much of these I'm going to be able to link. I will probably link the products that I use every single day, and then maybe I can link the eyeshadow palettes and the lip products, because I don't think I'm going to have room to link everything, but you will just have to check out the description box if there's anything that you are interested in picking up. So yeah, I will see you when I have done another look. Okay, so here is my second look of the video. I actually didn't film this, but I did use a palette that was sent to me in PR. This is not a new palette by any means, and it's from a new brand that I haven't tried before. So I just wanted to kind of play with it and see how I felt, because they also sent me their newest palette, which I'll show you in a little bit. So this is the Twisted Cherry palette, and this is from Wicked Widow. And this is a collaboration with, I can't properly read her name on here because the font is kind of weird, but I think it says Cherry Antacids or something like that. I will have her link down below in my description box if you want to check it out, but I really like this look. One thing I will say about this palette is that the shimmers, like this top row, those are the perfect kind of shimmers that I just absolutely love. And I think you guys know the formula I'm talking about now. You can see it on my lid just how beautiful and like smooth and glass looking these are. The mattes, on the other hand, I feel like are maybe a little bit lackluster. They're not my favorites. I actually used this shade as my blush today, and I built it up quite a lot, and I feel like For being an eyeshadow, it should be a little bit more pigmented, and also the shades I used in my crease, I used the red, which is definitely not a red. It leans a lot more pink. I did use the pink to blend it out with because I was like, well, it's gonna be pink anyway, so I might as well just make it an all pink look. And then to deepen up the outer corners, I used this one. And then my lid shades are these two. And for the inner corner, I used the Noctilucent palette from Blend Bunny yet again. And I'm using this shade right here as my highlighter, my inner corner, and my brow bone highlight. I really like how the look turned out, but I will say the palette isn't my absolute favorite just because of the matte, but if you're looking for nice shimmers, definitely a good brand. So I do want to talk about their new palette that they came out with. So this is the Y'allternative palette, and it's basically a cowboy boot, which is like super fun. I love the idea of this. It's a little bit, you know, annoying to store, if you will, and it is one of those that kind of like come apart like this. And here's what the color story looks like. Now the color story is super fun, but when I accepted this in PR, I didn't realize that this would have 3 pressed glitters in it. Now on their website, it's basically these 3 right here. On their website or on their Instagram, they say that these are glitter duochromes. No, duochrome glitters. So they're basically duochrome shades with glitter infused in them, but honestly, these are just pressed glitters. I mean, I've touched them, I've swatched them, and they perform just like pressed glitters. They have like that kind of gel base in them with just glittery chunks. So if you're not into glitters, don't get this palette. But if you like glitters, I think that this seems like a really nice glitter formula, and the shadows are beautiful. Again, I can't speak for the mattes in this palette because honestly, I'm not going to use this because it has pressed glitters in it, but I wanted to show you guys in case it is something that you are interested in. My base today is the same as in the first look. Because I just wanted to keep it simple pretty much. My lipstick today is 2 things. I have a lip liner from ColourPop, and this is in a shade Oh Sis. I don't think I've used this one before, but it is a beautiful sort of corally bricky tone, just like the lipstick that I'm wearing. And I'm wearing one of the Flower Now's liquid lipsticks. So this is one of the matte moussey kind of Kaleidos looking thingies, and I think these are really, really nice. My waterline, I have Crybaby from ColourPop, and then my lashes today are the Dreamer lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. Should I rate my lash application today as well? I feel like I did pretty good. The only thing is I wish I put this lash a little bit further in or this lash a little bit further out, because this one doesn't come down as far as this one, and this one is, they're just not even. Which story of my life. I'm never gonna get lashes even, but other than that, it's pretty darn good. So I'd give myself an 8 out of 10 today, which is unusually good for me, I feel like. So I'm happy. I'm having a good lash day, and honestly, I did my makeup so quickly today. I gotta head out the door soon, but I finished doing my full face of makeup, and I put in a ponytail from INH in 30 minutes. So pretty proud of myself, including lashes. So I'm doing great on time. I am using the Alley ponytail in dark brown from INH, just in case you were wondering. And I know I'm gonna make a video with these. I'm almost through the things that I need to get through, but I'm sure I'll get another package tomorrow that I have to film with. But anyway, I'll try to get around to it as soon as possible. I know you guys are interested, so just be patient with me, okay? So that's gonna be it for today's look. I will see you probably tomorrow for me when I've done another. Here is my next look, and I should already have a video up on this collection. I used a new Teresa is Lethal palette that she did in collaboration with Lethal Cosmetics. So Teresa is Dead did a collaboration with Lethal Cosmetics. Yeah, I had so much fun with this palette. Honestly, I said it in the video where I filmed this, but when I first got this in the mail and I looked at it, I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, the color story is very strange, and I feel like the combination between the mattes and the shimmers didn't really make sense to me at first, but I feel like the more I look at it, the more it kind of makes sense. So it's very, very unique in that sense. It's not something that I feel like I've ever seen before. And this silver up here that I have on my lids, holy moly, is that so beautiful. Like so, so, so pretty. I also used the face products from this collection, and I definitely have thoughts. Otherwise, on my face, I still have the same base products. I have the same foundation, concealer, powder, and bronzer. But then I used the face products. I used this blush here, which when it first came to me, it had kind of little streaks of silver going down the middle. And when I first put it on my cheeks, I kind of got like a streak of of silver on my cheek, and then I had to sort of mix it all together to make sure that didn't happen again, and now I like it a little bit more. This is the shade called Plant 9, and I think it's really, really pretty. Then I used a little bit of this highlighter right here, and I found that it was just a little bit too light for me. So I think I'm actually gonna put on a different highlighter because I didn't really love how that looked. So I'm gonna grab my Blend Bunny palette. Let me see. I'm gonna use, that could be pretty. That could also be really pretty. I think I'm gonna use the shade here called Far Out, which is sort of a lavender, and then I'm gonna change my earrings. I'm gonna take these earrings off because these really don't go with this look at all. When I first sat down to film this, I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, and I didn't realize how cool toned this palette was until I started playing with it. And had I realized that, I probably would have put on not only a different earring, but also a different sweater, because this is more of like a warm toned sweater. So I'm gonna take the shade here called Far Out. This is one of the shades in this palette that's a little bit more like a Super Shock shadow. Like the textures of these shadows, or highlighters, can't talk today either apparently. The textures of these they differ a little bit from each other. So some are a little bit more creamy that you might need a denser brush with, and some are a little bit more powdery. This is definitely one that's a little bit more creamy, so I'm using more of a kind of dense small brush to buff this in with, and I really like how that looks. That looks really pretty. I also used some of the green shade, highlighting shade from the collection as my brow bone highlight, and I think that looks really good. For my lip today, I used a weird combination. I don't like this necessarily. I think it looks fine now, but I used the shade Cool BFF, which is a lip liner from Colourpop, and I used that in conjunction with the shade Sincere from Ace Beauté. And even though I love this lipstick on its own, I felt like the lip liner was just way too cool toned, and I used the lip liner before I had figured out what lip product to use, so that kind of makes sense. So I put this on and I was like, I don't really like how this looks, so I'm just gonna put something over the top of it. So that's how we ended up here. I did also use a little bit of this gel liner from the collection on my top lid, which I think looks beautiful. I know I'm repeating myself, like saying this multiple times, but I feel like a lot of people don't watch all of my videos, so you probably haven't seen my lethal video if you're watching this one, or the other way around, maybe you only watched that one. But I will say about the lethal gel liners, they're wonderful when you first get them. They're really creamy, super easy to work with, but these dry out so quickly. Like for me, all of the other ones that I've had, I can't speak for these two in particular. I don't know if these have been reformulated, but I will say all of the other ones that I've ever had from Lethal have dried out now, and I've had their whole collection. They've sent me all of them, and I love them for a little bit. They're beautiful in the waterline, they're beautiful on the lids. They can do anything you want, but they dry out so fast, and it's almost impossible to revive them. Like I've tried everything. I've tried Guerlain, I've tried whatever you can think of. I make sure that the caps are on perfectly and really, really tight, but they just dry out. It's just, that's just how they are. That's just the shelf life of them. And it actually says on here, it says 6 months. And I feel like when they first came out with these, they said 12 months, but now they only say 6 months. So they're at least upfront about it, that if you get these, they're probably not gonna last more than 6 months. So I don't know if I necessarily recommend them, but if you think that you're gonna use a color all the time, go for it. But if they're just gonna sit in the drawer and you're gonna use it here and there, don't buy one of the Lethal ones. Just go with like Melt or someone who has a formula that lasts for a longer time. I do want to mention what I think is the star of today's look though, and that's my lashes. I actually think, can I say that I'm having a 10 out of 10 lash application day? Because I feel like these look like they're on so great. Okay, maybe 9.5 out of 10. I feel like maybe this one isn't perfect on the very inner corner, but I did a really good job at these. So these are from House of Lashes. They are the Allura Light Lashes. I saw these and it took me a little while to figure out like what they were because they were in this container, but this is the only container that I have that is just like blank, that I don't have the packaging for, because I had to rip off the packaging to be able to open these and get this out. So after a little bit of elimination and like digging around online, I was like, ah, that's what these are. So I actually remember. But what I wanted to say is I feel like I found the trick to finally getting my lash application to be a little bit better. Now, I always watch other people put on lashes, right? And I feel like everybody, you know, start off by like plopping the lash in the middle of the lid, then putting down the inner corner, then putting down the outer corner. But I think for me, I need to start with the inner corner of my eye. I need to actually put the lash on the inner corner and then put the outer corner on, because otherwise I feel like when I put it on in the middle and then try to put down the inner corner, sometimes the lash like the false lash will stick to my lash, and I have a hard time like being able to like, do you know what I'm trying to say? If you've done lashes, you know what I'm trying to say. So maybe if you have that problem too, if you're never able to like get the inner corner lash to stick down properly, maybe start by putting your lash on the inner corner first, because that works really well for me, and I can't believe I haven't tried that before. So I'm gonna keep you posted, but I'm very happy with how my lashes look today, and I really like these lashes too. Like, I'm surprised by how much I like these. I feel like they're the perfect length, they're the perfect kind of fluffiness. They don't hide my entire look, but they add that extra little like drama that I want in my looks, and I really like this. I think this is so pretty. So yeah, that is what I used today. And also, can I just say, I'm so happy that you guys like this format, because everybody pretty much who watched my first video, which to be fair wasn't a lot of you, but I'm glad that the ones that did enjoyed it. So I'm probably gonna keep doing these. They're not gonna be weekly, but I'm calling it a weekly look diary or something like that anyway, just because I'm including 7 looks. So obviously I'm not doing my makeup every day. I'm not going to be able to get these up every week on a certain day, because, you know, I just want to have like 7 looks in each video, and it's just going to be whenever I'm done with 7 looks and whenever I'm done editing it. So that was a long ramble for this look, but these videos are going to be long anyway, and I know that the people who are here for this like it. So let's move into the next look. Here is a look that you actually have not seen a video on yet, and this is probably a palette that a lot of you guys don't even know exists. So, funny story how, actually, I'm gonna share this in a video. Should I just share it here anyway? Sure, why not? So, funny story about this palette. This is from a brand called Spellbound Beauty, and I have a palette from them in the past. I have their, was it called the Oracle palette? I like that palette. It was okay. I bought that one myself, and they reached out to me before this palette had even been sneak peeked or anything like that, and they were like, hey, can we send you our newest palette? And I was like, you know what, guys, I'm so backed up with things right now. I just don't know if I have time to take on yet another palette that I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do any content with before it launches. So I respectfully turned down, because I didn't even know what the palette was going to look like. And then they started sneak peeking this, and I messaged the owner again, and I was like, can I change my mind? And they were so sweet. They were like, yeah, of course, we'll send it to you. What's your address? So I have this in my hands now, and I was so excited to film with this. I'm actually going to film another video after this. My Mcgrath palette comes today. That video is definitely going to be up already. I can link that in the corner. So I am going to film another look after this. If my lashes are looking a little bit not perfect, it's just because I didn't want to put on mascara and then have to take it off again to like do another eye look. So I don't have any mascara on, which is why it's looking a little bit weird maybe. But anyway, here's the palette. So this is called the Witchcraft palette, and like I said, it's from a brand called Spellbound Beauty. And do you see this palette? Like, this is why I was like, listen, you guys need to send me this, because this is everything I want in an eyeshadow palette. You basically have mid-toned dark mattes and then a bunch of these like beautiful shimmers, that shimmer formula that I absolutely love. And I got this in the mail yesterday. I swatched it right away and I was like, wow. So this is my first look with it, and I really like it so far. The mattes are really smooth and buttery and easy to work with. The shimmers are very creamy. So what I had to do yesterday when I swatched this, I felt a couple of the shades were a little bit too oily, so I took a paper towel and I just kind of pressed over it to get off like the excess oil, because that is how you end up having like oil seepage in your palettes. So I wanted to make sure I could prevent that. So I removed some of the oil from some of these shadows so they weren't as creamy, but they're still very creamy. They're the kind of formula that you really want to have a sticky brush to pick them up with, or use your finger. It's going to be very tough to pick up these shadows on a very dry brush. I mean, some are creamier than others, but they look beautiful on the eyes. Today I have this shade and this shade in my crease, and on my lid I have this shade and this shade, and underneath my eye I have this shade, if I'm not mistaken. So I wanted to try out a lot of these. They're so beautiful. I'm definitely gonna have to like play around with these and see what the wear time is like, because like I said, they're very creamy, but gotta be honest, I love how this looks, and I'm so excited to play more with that palette. I'm gonna have a 3-look video and review up with that at some point. This is probably going to go up first, where I will also show you how I did this look, so just keep an eye out for that. My lashes today are a new pair that I've had in my drawer for a very long time. These are also from Unicorn Cosmetics, and these are the style Dragoness. Now, I actually think I bought these at Ulta a long time ago, and I've been too intimidated to try them on because I was like, these are so big. But I don't actually think they're too big. It's just that I thought they were going to be too big because some of the pieces and spikes are extremely long, but I don't actually think they're too big. And I think my application today is pretty decent. I did that same trick again where I started with the inner corner of my, if you're wondering about this, you can't even see anything. If you're wondering about this mirror, I got this as a recommendation from Katie Marie. I can link her channel down below, but it's basically like a three-way mirror, so that you can see like every angle of your eye. So I can see like the top of my lash line when I look down into this mirror, and it's super helpful. I don't find that it's that easy to like use this mirror while I put on my lashes, but to kind of like correct things, it's really, really nice to use. And I get to see like if I need to adjust them afterwards, because sometimes it's hard to see like the top of your lash unless you know, take a picture of it or something. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. Let me move on to some other things here. So for my face today, I'm using the same base products, same brow products, same bronzer. My blush today is from Pat Mcgrath because I was like, well, I'm gonna be reviewing a Pat Mcgrath palette, so I might as well use one of the ones I have in my collection. This is the shade called Cherish. I'm so excited to buy her new blush palettes when they come out with a new collection. Sadly, they didn't launch at the same time, so I wasn't able to pick them up, you know, in the same order, but you better believe I'll be snatching one of those. And then Ofra sent me a little kit here with a pink sort of blush topper. This one is beautiful. I topped that on top of the Pat Mcgrath blush, and this is like a kind of satiny, glowy blush. I would say it's more of a blush than a blush topper, so I can definitely use this on its own. I didn't think so just looking at it, but I'm gonna try to use this on its own next time. And it also comes with a little gloss here, which is, I would say, a pretty, like a medium intensity opaque gloss. Like you can definitely see it has some pigment to it, and it looks really pretty. So I'm probably gonna put this on over, or just take off what I have on right now and put this on together with a lip liner after. I'm wearing one of the lipsticks that I also was sent from Spellbound Beauty, and I gotta be honest, I don't like this lip formula at all. It was really hard to get a smooth, even application. This is a liquid lipstick in the shade Cara Mia. Now, I also have to preface this by saying I do not like liquid lipsticks anymore at all. I find them to be so drying, and no liquid lipsticks formula ever looks good on my mouth or on my lips. That doesn't mean that it's not going to look good on you, but on my very small dry lips, liquid lipsticks are just not it. So I don't like this, but I'm probably gonna try the black one as well, because I felt like the black one they sent me is a little bit more opaque when I swatched it on my hand yesterday. So I'm gonna give that a go. You'll see that whenever I do another look with this palette, but I really like how this looks so far. I think it is so pretty. And I really like these lashes too. I might even put these back on again when I film with the Pat Mcgrath palette, but you will actually see the Pat Mcgrath look in a little bit, and you might also have already seen the video that I've done with this, but I'm excited to play with it, so I will check in again when I have done another look. Here is my Pat Mcgrath look, and I did put in one of my, I guess, favorite ponies from I&H. I haven't worn it before. I thought what better time to pull this out than when playing with Pat Mcgrath. This is so beautiful. It is really, really long. This is the, look how long it is. This is the Casey pony, like I said, from insert name here. It has little tinsels in it. I got mine in dark brown, no, black brown. I think black brown. And it is so beautiful. Like I said, super, super long, but very lightweight. I love this. Like, I can see myself wearing this just on a regular Monday. But then again, I'm kind of weird, so yeah, I don't think anybody really who knows me would be surprised if I wore this to the grocery store. But I think it's really, really cute. Anyway, like I said, this is my look with the new Pat Mcgrath palette, and I definitely have thoughts. If you haven't seen this palette already, I'm trying to open it for you, but this is the new Celestial Nirvana palette, and this is the holiday palette. So it has a lot of beautiful shades, a beautiful color story. The shimmers are pretty meh, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't have, it's not that I had a bad time using it, I was expecting a little bit more. I like the look that came out of it, still wearing the same lashes, everything else on my face is exactly the same. I did use, what did I use in my waterline? I think I used Crybaby from ColourPop. And that's pretty much the only thing that I did different in this look. I did switch out my lip though. I did, like I said, I would put on the gloss from Ofra. This is beautiful. I've had this on now for probably 3 hours and I haven't touched up. It's beautiful. I'm wearing it with a lip liner from ColourPop in the shade Oh Snap. Perfect combination. I'm going to be using this a lot, I can already tell, because it is wonderful. So I think that's basically going to be this look. Not blown away, as I'm sure you can tell. I'm just kind of like, I like the look, but I was expecting a little bit more from the shadows, but I'm gonna have to play more with it. You may have already have seen videos with this. I don't know when this is going up. Anyway, let's move on to whatever the next up ends up being. Here is my next look. I did film this with the new Sugar Drizzle Trick or Treat palette. This palette should be available already when you're seeing this. This is the cutest 6-pen palette ever. I mean, just the theming itself is just so cute. It has a little dinosaur that's like flying across the moon on a bike. Who comes up with this? I love this look. I think it is so fun. My pony today is Allie from I&H. It's in the shade Copper. I really like this color. I'm tempted to get like a longer one. I don't need that. Annette, stop it. You don't need more ponies. You have enough. My base makeup today is the same foundation, concealer, and powder and brows. For my bronzer, I'm still using the ColourPop Super Shock. I've been loving it, and I'm also using the ColourPop At First Crush Cheek palette. I've been loving this one as well. I'm having this shade on today as my blush, and then my highlighter, I'm, who's surprised? Say it out loud with me, the Noctilucent palette from Blend Bunny. And I'm using the shade Enlighten. I also have this as my brow bone highlight as well as my inner corner. My earrings are from Ana Luisa. I do have a code with them now, I'm pretty sure, from after we did the last sponsor video together. I'll have that down below in my description box and on the screen as well. I don't remember it off the top of my head. My lashes today are, again, the House of Lashes from the Allura Light from House of Lashes. I really like these. I think they're really pretty, and I think that I got a pretty good application today. I would give myself an 8 out of 10. I think they look pretty good. I don't really feel like there's anything that looks wonky. Maybe this one is a little bit more kind of like curved than this eye. I don't know, but I don't think anyone's going to be able to tell from afar, and I think these just look really nice. In my waterline, I used an eyeliner that I actually haven't used before. I got a package from About Face quite a long time ago with a lot of their new eyeliners, and this is just a color that I haven't used before. So this is the shade called Reptilian. It is a beautiful green. Like, you can definitely see it's in my waterline very nicely, and I think this formula, if you're looking for nice colorful eyeliners, these have really impressed me so far. I have other colors as well. I haven't used all of them, but all of the ones that I have used have been really nice. My lip liner today is from Glamlight. It's the Frosted Flakes collection that they did together. I don't think this one has a name on it, but it's just a dark brown, and then on top I used a Gucci lipstick. I cannot for the life of me find a lip liner that goes with this lipstick, because this lipstick is such an interesting color. It's like a yellow tone brown, sort of. It doesn't have any pink in it at all, and it's so hard to find a lip liner that goes with this. So if you have any lip liners that you think would be a good match, let me know. I just ordered 2 new ones from Melt when they were having, I got an email from them the other day that they were having a sale, so I bought 2 of their lip liners that were brown, hoping that they would maybe work with this lipstick. I think the formula of the lipstick is really nice, but I'm really not able to wear it unless I have like a good lip liner with it, because the color of this is so kind of contrasting to my own lip color that if I'm not able to get a good lip line, it just looks really weird. So I feel like this one is okay. I did kind of have to like blend them together, and I feel like the lip liner made the lipstick a little bit different than what it really is, but I really like the lip formula from Gucci. This is the matte one. It really makes me want to try more from them, but they're expensive. But the packaging is so cute. It is adorable, and it's very heavy, and you guys know I love heavy products. So that is what I am wearing today, and I really like this look. Like, that multi-chrome on the lid is so stunning. Yeah, I'm gonna keep looking at this for the rest of the day. So that's gonna be it for today. I will show you when I'm done with probably my next and last look for this video. Alright, I think this is going to be probably the last look of this video, and I did film this look with the Halloween palette. I know a lot of you have been waiting for me to use this in a video, so I probably have that video up before this one is going up. But I had a really good time with this. I think this is super fun. I like the look that came out of it. I think that the color story, like I said in my video, I feel like the color story is quite challenging, but I feel like I was able to transfer the color story onto my eyes while still keeping it nice and clean and not things ending up getting muddy. So I really like that. I think this is really pretty. Now, my lip combo today is very interesting. Because I was looking at my lipstick drawer and I was like, what is a lipstick that I haven't used in a while? And I was kind of feeling orange, and then I found this one. And this is a mini lipstick from Guerlain, and I think I got this as a gift with purchase when I bought something at Sephora like such a long time ago. So this is a mini. It's actually my first time using it, and I think it is beautiful. I am using it with a lip liner from Colourpop. This is in the shade what are you called? Absolute Zero. Is just a bright orange because I needed that with a bright orange lipstick. This is definitely a creamy type of lipstick that's not 100% opaque, but is opaque enough that I feel like you can't really see my lip liner too clearly. And that is what I like in lipsticks. I really don't like the look of a very visible lip liner on my lips personally. I think it looks great on other people, but since my lip shape is so... I have very small lips, and I like to kind of round out the tops of my lips, even though they are like kind of triangled. I find that if the lip liner is too visible, it just looks kind of weird. So I really like this lipstick so far. I can definitely see myself using this again. I'm excited I pulled it out and actually tried it because I usually wouldn't wear a color like this, but I'm not going anywhere today, and I wanted something orange to kind of go with the look that I was doing, so that's just where I ended up. And for my blush today, I also wanted something orange because I love orange blush. I think it's just so beautiful. So I'm using the Arthurine palette from Menagerie, and I'm using this shade up here called Goji. Now, what I usually do with this palette, because it is so pigmented, like even for me, these blushes are too pigmented. So what I'll do is I'll take just a pressed powder, and I will first put my brush into the blush, and then I take the same blush with the brush and just kind of tap over the loose setting powder to kind of tone it down. And that way, once I go in and start blending, it kind of has a little bit of powder and blush on the brush, and I find that it's a lot easier to apply that way. So this is just a random powder that I bought from ZZ because I thought that the container was just so cute. I bought this on Amazon actually because I just wanted to have like a loose setting powder, or yeah, pressed setting powder. I just wanted to have a pressed powder because I didn't have any in my collection, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna get one, I might as well get one that looks good, that I can, you know, be happy about having next to me on my vanity for when I need it, if I need to like, you know, touch up or something like that during the day. If we're going somewhere, I need some powder, I can use it for that too. And it'll be good to just like chuck in my bag if I'm like traveling or something. So really happy that I bought that because I feel like I'm getting quite a bit of use out of it. For my highlighter, I'm just using the eyeshadow palette, and I'm using the shade called Ghoulish, and this is a beautiful face highlighter. If you have this palette, definitely try it because I feel like it works super well for that. I think the only things I haven't mentioned so far is my eyeliner, which is the same as it was, I think, in the previous look. I'm using the green one again from About Face, and I don't think I said the name of it. This is in the shade Line Artist. And my lashes today are from Auric. Now, I used these, or this style I should say, for the first time today. First off, I have the one in the shade or style Clouded. Now, if you haven't seen these, they come in a compact here with 2 different lashes in it. So the top here is like a more subtle lash, which is a half lash. And then on the bottom, you have your, me trying to show you this. On the bottom here, you have your full lash. So this is the full lash that I'm wearing in the shade Clouded. And I did have to cut off like 2 little pieces on it, but I think that these are really beautiful. I think my lash, let's see, what is my lash application at today? I like using this mirror to kind of see, like I said, how my top is looking. I think it's looking very nice today. I would say I would give myself a 9 out of 10. I think I'm having a very good lash day today. The only thing I will say about these lashes is I feel like because the band is very, very thin, for me with lashes that have a thin band, sometimes they tend to, it's not that they don't last all day, but I find that I don't have that security of them being like really stuck on there. And sometimes at the end of the day, they will start kind of lifting on the edges a little bit, and I don't find that thicker band lashes do that to me, because I feel like it's just because you don't have enough kind of area to put glue on that you get enough glue on your lash. And even though I double glue, I put glue on my lash and I put glue on my lash line and then I kind of stick it onto it, and it almost has like a little magnet effect. I still feel like because the lash band is so thin, I don't always trust them to last on me all day, so I always have to like bring lash glue with me if I'm going somewhere, which I don't like doing, but you know, it is what it is. If you want to wear the lashes, just do what you gotta do, right? So yeah, I really like this look. I think this is super pretty. Also, my pony today is the Jordan from INH, and my jewelry is all from Ana Luisa. So I think that's gonna be it for this week's weekly makeup diary. Should I keep this name? Should I change it to something else? Maybe a little bit more catchy. Maybe I'll add makeup diary like at the end of the kind of title of the video, because the first video really didn't do well at all. Like, it was sort of a flop, but I'm glad that the ones that actually watched it enjoyed it, and I feel like if I can just get more people to watch it, it might end up being a cool series. So I'm gonna keep trying it for a few more times, just, you know, feel out the waters, try different thumbnails and titles and stuff like that, and see where we end up. But I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're watching. I'm glad you're enjoying these. Thank you so much as always for watching. If you want to see some other ones of these, I will link the one that I did last time up in the corner. I will also have made a playlist, but it's not very full yet. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.